Okay, so we're going to do a bone building workout. We're going to start with 2 hips stretching exercises. So the first one we're going to do is facing a bar or a counter. And you're just going to swing your leg across and back out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Repeat it on your other leg. You can do up to as many as you want. I usually 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the second hip exercise, put your right hand on the bar or on a counter, and you're going to lift your right knee up. I call this one the dipping bird. So you're going to take your right foot and it's going to slide back, down, and you're coming up. So you want a swinging motion. So it's going to go like this. You can bend your knee when it comes to the front, so it goes back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me turn it face the other direction. Yeah, it's okay. Start with your inside leg, the leg that's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's the hip warm up. Now we need our poles or those bands. And you can put your hands toward the ends of the poles because you're going to need to get it over your head. So if it's hard, then use the stretchy band. So you lift your shoulders up, you go up over your head, and then you drop it behind you and try and keep your arms straight. So that's why you might want the stretchy band. So raise your shoulders up, over your head, go back. Do you feel like you want the stretchy band? Because these are weighted poles. Up, shoulders up, over your head.
Keep your arms straight.
If you can, if you need to bend them a little bit. The goal is to really release your shoulders because we're doing a lot of work with our shoulders.
Like, we're grabbing one place. You're so good. Right?
Raise your shoulders. It goes up, back, and up and around. Shoulders up, raise it up, to the back, and up. Shoulders up, raise it up, back. I usually do 10 of these. Practice and really counting up, back, up, and down. Let's just do one more. Up, and back, up, and down. Now the next one is going to be where we're going to circle around. So you're going to raise your left hand. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Left hand up, it goes around. Right hand goes up. And so it just keeps on circling around. 12. Cat up. Sneak. 6. 7. 8. 9. That's good. This. Then we go the other way. Uno. Dos. Tres. This one is better. Cuatro. Cinco. 6. 7. 8. 9.
We're supposed to keep our arms straight.
These, if you can see this elbow wants to bend. Okay? So we can just set that pole to the side for right now. It's not in your way. Okay, so those are the 2 warm-ups. So there's warm-ups for hips, so there's warm-ups for shoulders. So there's 2 of each. Now we're going to do the weights. So whatever weights work for you, and we use the chairs, or at home I step up 2 steps. So if you guys want to use a chair.
And do you want to use this chair?
So when you do this, I'm just going to show you first so you see what to do. So the goal isn't to skip with this foot. The goal is to use this knee and this leg to push through your foot to get up, and to use this power to come back down. So you're really pushing through your foot, up and down. Your head should be thinking straight up. So I usually do 10 of them. I won't count because I think you guys want to take as much time as you want. Okay? And you should have, do you have the same size weights? You want the same size weights in both hands.
I can't decide which one.
Okay. Go with the lower one to start then. So do you want to come over here with me?
Yeah, happy and happy. Happy here so you can see
You
everybody.
can come here, Sue.
Not quite as fun.
So you can come here. And after you've done 10, then you can switch to the other side. So just remember, always pushing right down through your heel.
I did that yesterday.
Come over here, Sue. Pinky together. Really think about pushing straight down from your knee to your hip. Head is straight up. And you can keep your foot on the step. So your foot always stays here on the step. Everything up into your head. Up. Oh, that's better. Straight up. So you're going to do 10 or more on one leg, and then you switch to the other leg. Do the same number.
You must be at 10.
I am. Okay, are we okay to switch?
Yep.
Okay, so the next thing we're doing, so we're always alternating upper and lower. So the second one is the upper. So we take our weights in with our palms facing us. Then you turn your palms away from you, elbows by your ears. You come back down and rest. So ichi. And ni.
Breathe.
And san. And shi. And go. And doku. And shichi. And hachi. And kyu. And ju. Okay, now we repeat the step-ups. So these are 2 exercises that go together, so we just repeat it again. So the same thing, so we just do exactly what we did. So I always start with my left foot because it's my stronger foot.
So I'm doing my right foot.
But you're going to do both legs. Okay, here we go. Ready? So straight up. 1. And down. And 2, so that's better. Straight up. And down. Really push that leg. 3, straight up. And down. Straight up. 4. And down. Press with that leg. 5. And down. 6. And down. 7. And down. 8. Really push through your heel. Push the knee down. 9. And down. 10. And down. We switch legs. And if it's too hard, you can drop your weights lower. Ready? We press up. 1. 2, and down. Really push through your heel. Push through. 3, and down. Push through. 4, and down. Really lift up high with your head. 5, head up and down. Push through your heel. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down. Okay, good. Then we go back to the other upper body where we're hands facing in, the arm curls. So 1, and up, and down. 2, and up, and down. 3, and up, and down. 4, and up, and down. 5, and up. Your feet can be about as wide as your shoulders. 6, and up, and down. And you can weights face you, and then your hands turn away from you when you come up. And down. I think this is 8, 9, 10. Feeling okay? Okay, so that's the first couplet of weight bearing. Okay, now we do the squats. So with the squats, you can use support, like so you were using your kitchen cupboard. So if you're standing, so your elbows are like at your sides, your feet can be pronated a little bit out, about as wide as your shoulders. And you're just gonna sit back, and then use your hamstrings and your glutes to get your back up. So back and up. And little by little, you may not need to use much support here. But you really want to sit like you're sitting back in a chair. Yeah, good. So come just a little bit closer. There you go. Now you can go back more. Yeah, good.
Lacey, okay?
Yep.
Just have a knee that isn't working right.
So usually they say 10, but I really like these squats, so I usually end up doing 15 to 20. And when I learned it, she had me put a strap like around the support, like if you're on your lanai, you could put a strap around your lanai pole, and you can lean back from there so you can really let go. So, or you can do these squats without anything, just sitting back like that. But when you're first learning squats, I think it's really helpful to have that support.
I'm gonna feel this.
Put your feet a little closer, Sue. You want to just about as wide as your hips. Okay, so this is the first of the next couplet. So the next thing we do is on the mat. And I often like to go down a little bit of weight on this one because I think this one is harder. Let me pull my mat up a little bit. So on this one, what it's going to look like is you're going to bring it here. So it's going to go up, over your head. Oh, that's too heavy for me. Up and down.
Eights.
Do you have eights?
Yeah, I love the eights.
Not there yet with the tens. So it's pressing up, over your head, so your elbows are going by your ears, up and down. So up by your ears, up and down. And Lori and I talked about yesterday pressing your back flat to the mat. So if you feel like your core is flat down, so press up over your head. And try not to bang them on the floor if you can. It's so kind of hard to see where they're going. And counting to yourself. And like I said, when you're doing these, if they start to feel easy, you can make the decision either to add more weight
or to do more repetitions. How are we all doing?
Great.
Woohoo! I've never taught a weight building class, so. Okay, so we put these down and we go back to doing our squats. So a minimum of 10, but if you're really excited about squats, do more. Check your feet about as wide as your hips, and if you want to turn your toes out a little bit, you can. Your knees should be over the heels. And if you really feel it, where you feel it moving through your glutes, I'm not counting, I'm just gonna wait till Sue finishes. But I see she's done middle stuff. And when you feel your toes, sometimes toes want to grab, so try not to let your toes do that. Try to let your toes really feel free in your shoes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
So you can kind of feel it when your toes
You
are
lift them up a little
grabbing.
bit?
Just so, if you lift them up, then you can feel that they're just relaxing.
Yeah.
That's why I think when you're holding here, I think here, your toes don't do that as much. But when you step away, that's when I start to feel my toes say, hey, hey. Okay, should we go back to the floor?
You didn't wait for me.
Okay, keep going, keep going.
No, I'm done.
Okay, so then this is the one, this one couples with that one.
But that would be it. That'd be a good future.
Okay, this is one where we press up, go over your head, press your back down, up and down. So keep your back flat on the floor, knees up, over your head, up and down, up, over your head, up and down, up and down. How's it feeling?
Awesome. Fantastic.
Good. Just think how strong our bones are going to be the next time we get together.
My shoulders feel it.
I know, with all the kayaking we did yesterday, right?
And just from doing this yesterday.
Yeah.
So can you feel it?
Oh,
On your shoulders. I could do a higher weight if it wasn't this back one.
it's the back part that's really hard, right?
Yes.
Like when you press up, it's okay, but it's this part when you go over your head that's hard.
And keeping the back down.
Yeah, and if you really press your core, then you're getting that core workout at the same time. I've lost track of my counts. Is that 10?
Probably.
Okay.
I think it was 15.
Okay, so that was the second couplet. So we did the repetition with the squats and then this on the floor. So the next one is with the pole again. That's a different type of activity with the pole. So you put the pole behind you. This is where you can also use that strap. I like the pole because it makes me feel really straight. And put your feet as wide as your hips, could be maybe just a little bit wider. And so you're going to just bend forward, aiming to get as flat back as possible, and then coming straight up and using your glutes and your hamstrings to pull you back up. So it's going forward, trying to get flat, and pull up. Thank you, Lori. Exhale, going down. Inhale, coming up. This is like the other version of the dipping bird.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the different word is.
You know when we were in, I think it was Grandma and Grandpa's car, and they had that bird that would go into the water? It was like a toy bird.
Oh, yeah.
And go down and up until the water was all gone. It would like somehow collect the water into the bird until the bird was so heavy that it wouldn't move anymore.
I can feel these in my quads.
In your quads, also your hamstrings?
Yeah, I feel it.
Probably
Most of my
both, right?
hands.
Oh, my hamstrings, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
my core,
are we about 10?
probably.
I've not been counting. Okay, so when I swap, if you have a pole, you might just change your hands like this rather than moving the pole. Just turn your hands from one side to the other, and we do exactly the same thing. So if you feel like your elbows should be back, I think it's loosening your shoulders as well when you do this. One,
And I think as you progress, the closer your hands could be.
yeah. It would be like, what is that called, Laura, in yoga, when you do that elbow up and elbow down?
We don't have a lane for it, I don't think. We use a strap behind our arms.
I feel like this is just so good for your lower back, and really strengthening your lower back and your glutes, core, lengthening your hamstrings and the shoulders. I think we're almost 10 or maybe even more. Okay, one more. Okay, this alternates with the Russian twist. And Lori, I think you wanted the 8-pound weights.
Yeah. I'll just do one.
So I started with lower weights and then I started working up. So actually I tried to do even 20 pounds with the Russian twist. So the Russian twist, you just go from side to side. I'll do it with the lower weight first. So what Kat had told me, she said, try doing a heavier weight and then see what happens when you do a lighter weight, and it feels so easy. So your feet are down. I don't know if it's important to keep your knees together or not with Russian twist. But you're just twisting from side to side.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I guess I can do that there.
Doesn't that feel good?
Lord, you're
Yes.
right.
It's weigh 12.
This is good.
So, and when it feels too easy, then just either do more repetitions or up your weight. And I have a 20-pound weight at home, so it's easier than carrying 2 10-pound weights. This is a little harder in the hands.
And how many on each side? Is it 10?
So I usually, she just said 10 for everything, but I kind of get into a rhythm with this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done 30 already, because it just feels so good. Okay, and then we alternate back again with our pole. So we do the dip in one. You might see if you want to try starting with your other hand up first this time. I try and switch things up. Like if I did my left at first in the steps, then maybe I would try the right second time. These poles are a little bit heavy for this. This is the lightest pole they have. So feet as wide as your shoulders, and you're just thinking leaning forward, straight back, down, and up. You're gonna be so flexible after this and so strong. Thunder Force.
And have you watched the movie Thunder Force?
And then have you seen Thunder Force?
No.
It's born, everybody.
No. Is it theaters or
No,
It's a movie.
Netflix,
Netflix?
right?
It's a Hallmark movie.
Oh, it's a comedy.
Oh, I thought it was a Hallmark
Melissa
movie. Oh,
McCarthy.
you're right, that was the other one, it was a Hallmark.
Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer.
It's just one of those silly, humorous, light women power though.
It checks all the boxes for having women in high places and people of different skin colors and are we counting?
I am
Just switch.
sure at
Yeah.
Okay,
And
then
switch.
just take your hand, switch the top hand to one and put it on the bottom and then go again. And start chanting a release track. 3, 4, 7. Feel your glutes when you're coming up and your lower back. And your core. Always said exhale to your right. Inhale to my right. Up. Release. Okay, well done everyone. And now back to the Russian twist, which couples with that one. So decide what your weight is that you want to use. You do minimum of 10, but if you want to do more, keep on going. Maybe this is easier. It doesn't feel right. Just go that way. Does it feel okay, Lori, holding them that way?
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way I would like.
It doesn't feel like you can get as far to the side when you do that.
Knees together, or
I try to get my knees together. I'm not sure if there's any specific thing that knees
feet
are
flat on the ground, or just the heels?
I keep my whole foot on the ground. It makes me feel more stable.
Yes, breathe, and then hold our breath here.
25.
And try to put one weight down and then you do it with your lighter weights and you go, wow, this is so easy now.
8.
Yes, you're right.
30.
Okay, we did it. 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 Hooray. Yay. Let's all turn the camera.